Hey everybody, Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating and body image specialist. And I was supposed to be on about 15 minutes ago with a friend, and we were going to talk about just have a very candid and not scripted conversation around feeding families and kids and how to not make food a big deal. But we are all still in the hurricane zones, and unfortunately her internet is super terrible today. And so we are not going to be able to do that, but we're going to get it in next week at the worst, the week after. But we were really excited and happy to do that, but her internet's not going to work today, so unfortunately she won't be here. And we have plan B, which is I want to talk a little bit about something called structure. And by the way, this is a Q&A, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat below and I will be answering them. And I'm not in a big rush, so I can be here, well, not forever, but a good bit. I don't have to rush off in just 10 minutes. So I want to talk about this topic because it's a challenge to know, like, let's say you're in recovery or you're starting intuitive eating, and there's all kinds of ways to do it. And there's all kinds of philosophies, by the way, in both genres. Some people are like, no meal plans, no exchanges, no structure, just eat more food and learn and, push aside all the thoughts and all the fears and all the worries. And I think that works definitely for some people who honestly have enough internal strength to hang in there with all the sensations and the emotions and not flip-flop back and forth constantly. Where I find that, for me, I did a mix. I just shared that, like, when I first started my journey, I needed to, basically, I definitely needed to nutrient replete, and I needed to, but I wasn't very good at me following meal plans, I'll be really honest. I did exchanges / planning ahead / always trying to meet a certain amount of minimum / sometimes I would just eat what I wanted to anyway. That was basically my planning. But that's what did the job. That's what got me to where I needed to go to get repleted, it took me about a year, and to start having accurate signals. So, yeah, you might be a person listening to this thinking, I don't need a nutrient replete. I've got plenty of weight on my body. I'm fine. If you've ever dieted, regardless of what your body size is, you're going to need to do some repletion, and so signals are going to be a little wonky at the beginning, and you're going to feel like you need to eat everything. It's just kind of how it is. There's nothing wrong. You're not out of control. I've done a couple posts about this week, especially the one, if you've seen the person with the candy and the vegetables in their hands. This is what your eating is going to look like, and you're going to need to eat as much as you need to eat for a while, and it's not always going to be exactly from hunger and fullness. So if that knowledge is the structure you need to be able to know, like, hey, I'm going to have some structure, which means eating regularly, let's say. When I work with clients with binge eating disorder and emotional eating of any kind, there's not really much restriction. There's still a level of structure, and all that means is I'm asking people at the pace they can go. I'm not saying that everybody can just go from whatever is happening with their food to like 3 meals a day with snacks and kind of build a platform of some stability with their eating. Some people just can't start doing that. We start where they're at, and if that means that you're pretty much not eating all day, or maybe you're binging at lunch and then grazing the rest of the day, we kind of work on flipping the food all the way around the day cycle and normalizing that. That's maybe what we're doing together, and working through the feelings about that, to making that kind of change. Sometimes it's going to be that the only thing that really, really works for you is a structured 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. And you work with somebody to, if your signals aren't accurate, to make sure you're getting enough. And and there's a level of surrender with trusting that. And people have asked, like, well, this is too much food, and how can I trust you, and how do I know? It's because if you're still obsessing about food, there's a level of support you need around that. And that's the way it is. Now, if you're somebody that's like, I'm eating enough, I'm really sure I'm not restricting in any way, shape, or form, mentally, I'm letting myself eat what I want, I'm actually finding myself eating past fullness sometimes because I'm afraid that I'm going to get starved or restricted again, or if my needs aren't going to get met, your structure is going to be around allowing yourself to slow down, to notice what's happening in you that's afraid. And it's kind of providing that kind of parenting. So it may not be structure with your food, but it certainly is more awareness, which actually creates a container, which is what we're really looking for. When I say structure, what we're really looking for is that we are feeling like everything is so much, or we're not getting enough, and we want some kind of containment, like literally like our own crossbody hug with like, I know where my edges are, I know what's happening, I know I'm okay. And because oftentimes we feel like we're just reaching out and free falling and not knowing what's okay and what's not and all that, and where we're gonna get what we need. So I think this topic is super important, very, very under talked about. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, when I see people who've come from trying to recover and do intuitive eating for a long time, that's what's been missing, this level of like just their right perfect kind of containment to feel some stability and safety to go to the next step. You know, I know intuitive eating is certainly a process. I mean, it can take years, it really can, but it doesn't need to be taken 10 years. And so and I'm not saying that like those of us who've been in some kind of struggles with other things, it might take us 10 or 20 years, honestly, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is that literally if you're at a place where you're what's the word, if you're feeling like you're reading the books and you're watching the videos and you're doing the podcast and you're still feeling like you're really struggling, there's a piece missing for you that you need to consider. And it may be this containment piece of having either somebody else from the outside eyeballs looking at where's that mental spinning piece, where's that piece of like, I don't know internally where my edges are, what's that about, and uncoupling that from the food. So it's like you can trust the signals of body, signals over here, and deal with the story, the sensation over here. Sometimes that's the missing piece. So just want to bring that up. If you're trying really hard and you're feeling frustrated, like nothing's working, then consider that there's more to it than just like, it's not that you're failing. It's just that you need another piece of like a landing place or a containment for what is happening when you're trying. If you're not trusting that, like if somebody's telling you like, you might need more food and you're not trusting that, what is it that's you're not able to feel like you can trust? Whether it's sensation, whether it's the idea that you need more food in the first place and what that means for you and about you, that's something to think about. And then the flip side, if you're struggling with like, I feel like I'm just kind of always pushing that edge of I can't quite stop, then we're kind of like overshooting, overcompensating the break for some good reason. And so I know people are like, well, it's emotional. I'm emotional eating. I get that. But there's a place of like, I think that's locatable not just from your head but in your body. And if you can locate that, I think you'll notice it feels different from physical hunger and fullness. So that was my little lecture today, like my little thought for the day. Just like, again, a couple announcements. Today is the last day to register for the When Women Stop Hating Their Bodies course. For those who are already in it, I'm super excited to see you. You should have been getting your first kind of little assignment email to get going. Yeah, if you're really interested in getting in it, I'm gonna probably not be showing any more of the sign-ups just because I want people to have time to get the book and get the first assignment and get working on some of the exercises before Tuesday. So anyway, there's that. If you're interested, let me know. I'm taking a few more just quick chat appointments today and tomorrow to be able, if you're on the fence about it, to talk to me. If you feel like that would be helpful to you, then let me know. Private message me or email me. We can get that set up if you're interested. And then otherwise, sorry, the nature's being loud this morning. But otherwise, what else can I tell you? I do hope you go into the weekend with as usual, your intent for self-care, whether that's food, joy, rest, getting something done for yourself that you knew you needed to get done for a while, taking a risk, whatever that is. And what's the last thing? Oh, I do want to mention you'll be seeing a lot more holiday talk because it's it's getting to that time of year again, and if we have stuff around the holidays, it comes up, and sometimes it comes up through the food. So just a quick reminder about that is that this is a good time to get into the Attuned Eating for Attuned Living program for more like kind of monthly support calls for that. and we can talk about holiday stuff as much as you want. I also have a very accessible little holiday course that I have. I'll probably won't put that out till November, but just to know that's on the agenda coming up as well. If you're interested, just kind of keep watching here, and I'll be putting links, and you can follow that or go to my website. I think that's it. I hope you all really consider going back and watching this video again, just to see where you fall and where you stand around the idea of structure. But it's not structure in the means of like you have to follow a certain plan in a certain way, right? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't really want you being, if you want to use your perfectionism, definitely use it for like making sure the minimum's in. But something I was thinking about is, if you're eating and you're eating every little bit you plan for yourself every single time, it's the high possibility you're probably restricting. Or there's a possibility that you're overriding a little bit. Because if you set out, let's say, 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, and you pack some snacks with you, and you find that you're packing yourself this much, and you eat it all, and you're still thinking about food, that doesn't mean you ate too much. It just means you may not have eaten enough, or you might not be satisfied. So that's one little clue right there, that kind of containment is helping you. But I also want you to think about containment as a way of like, it needs to be a kind of, that's not the right kind. It needs to be kind of containment that allows you some like choice and freedom in it, but it still pushes you towards more accurate signals of hunger and fullness. If that's not doing that, it's not, we got to bump it up a notch. I'll just put it that way. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here. And if there's anything else I want to say, I think that's it. Everybody who got on late, please watch the video from the beginning. I had some really, hopefully important stuff for you all. And again, please share it with people you think might be helpful, and any comments you have below you want to give me, I'll happy to respond. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it so much. And take care. See you next time.